So I wanted to make a video. I've been making these little videos for my Twitter and Instagram, that sort of thing, and those are only like about a minute. I wanted to take this time to make a little bit longer video and just kind of talk about a couple different things that's going on, like in my life or whatever. But so I leave tomorrow. I'm going on a trip. I'm going to France and Italy, and I'm super excited. I'm going with one of my friends. So I'm really excited. It's a place that I never really thought I would be able to get to. When I was married, I thought for sure we would do that. And we are doing that, just separately, just not together. We're doing it with other people, which is, it's just the way things work out. But I'm really excited about getting the opportunity to go on this trip. I'll be gone for about 10 days. So the purpose of doing this is to talk more about recovery than anything else. It's something that people don't really talk about a lot, like what it's like to recover from a toxic relationship. Usually when someone hears recovery, we think drugs, alcohol, sex, that sort of thing. Nobody really thinks that we have to recover from an abusive relationship, but we do. So that's something that I really want to explore more going forward. I'd like to definitely point out what a toxic relationship looks like. Who could be toxic if you're in one, in a toxic relationship, all that stuff. But in a sense, I'm kind of sick of it. Sick of talking about the same sort of relationship that I was in. Everyone almost has the same relationship, but what we don't talk about a lot is what recovery looks like. Recovery is horrible. It's painful. It's difficult. It's definitely not easy. There's so many different aspects to it. For me, I'm not just recovering from a toxic relationship with an ex. I'm recovering from a toxic relationship with my mother, and what's worse, from myself. So I was very toxic, and I didn't realize how horrible it was until I started writing my book, Signs in the Rearview Mirror. I intended to write that book about my toxic relationship, but it turned out that as I wrote, the more I discovered where all of this kind of came from, like why I would be in a toxic relationship, why I would stay in something like that, and figuring out that I was toxic in my marriage. So it was kind of a tough thing. So I'm now recovering from a toxic relationship with myself, and it's difficult because it's an everyday struggle. It's staying on track. It's making sure that I'm doing the right things that I need to do in order to be a better woman, be a better human, be a better mom. So as I move along in this journey, it's been definitely interesting sharing my story with the world, with my toxic relationship that I was in with a guy, my own toxic relationship with myself, and the one with my mom. So now that I've done that, I kind of feel like it's time to live a little bit, enjoy my life in a way I never really thought I would, but still, put myself out there and continue this journey. So tomorrow I leave to travel, and I'm really excited. I got my passport. It's a pretty bad picture, but I got my passport. I got my travel partner. I have a sun hat, the stuff that I need to kind of, go on this, and I'm really excited about doing this. I'm terrified, but I'm also super excited. But then I also made the decision recently to start dating, which is tricky because you've got to find the person that you want to go out with that may or may not be a good fit, but you really got to put yourself out there. And recovering from a toxic relationship is hard because I still have PTSD from that relationship. So explaining that is really tough. So I have a lot of people who are like, well, just don't tell them about that relationship. But I'm a writer, I'm an author. So when someone asks you what you do for a living, yeah, I'm a writer. Oh, well, what do you write about? What am I going to lie and say, zoo animals? So then that starts the whole situation. So I did go on a date recently. Tuesday night I went out with a guy, and it was great. It was fun. I had a great time. He seemed to have a great time as well. And then today I got the message that he feels like I live too far away from him. Whatever. I mean, people say all kinds of things. I think he's new to dating, and he just kind of wants to, do the dating thing. And I totally get that. So I was like, all right, do your thing. But when I get back from my trip, I'm gonna start, dating on a regular basis if I can find someone. But it's a whole new journey. It's a new experience of putting myself out there, being vulnerable, exposing myself a little bit, and hoping to find someone that can accept me for who I am when I'm still trying to accept me for who I am. So I'm definitely getting there. I'm definitely feeling ready. I'm definitely feeling like, okay, it's time. It's time to meet someone and really, try to make something work in a good, happy, healthy way. And I did decide that while I did this, while I was on this journey, I would document it and talk about it, because I heard somewhere, if you can't find the book that you want to read, you have to write it. And I did. I wrote my book about my toxic relationship, because every book I had ever read about narcissism or toxic relationships basically was like, this is what it looks like and this is what you do. You run. Run to where? I didn't know, where am I running to? Where am I going? So I wrote the book I needed to read. And lately I've been Googling, does he like me? What is ghosting? What is this? What is that? So I'm like, all right, I'm finding myself in the same situation where it's like, okay, I'm recovering from this toxic relationship. What does dating look like? How am I supposed to feel? How are you supposed to know what this looks like? So I'm going to document this and eventually write this as a book in some form about what this looks like. So I'm excited about this because it's a new part of my life. It's finally getting to a point where I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I want to pick the person I want to be with. When I got married, I met my ex-husband when I was 16. We got pregnant, fairly early, and we got married. Then the next relationship, which was, toxic, wasn't healthy, wasn't a relationship I should have been in. Not sure if I picked it or not. Yes and no, but this time I'm healthy. This time I'm ready. And dating in your 40s, after a divorce, with 3 kids, after a toxic relationship, there's more than just me going through this. So I'm hoping for some positive feedback. I'm hoping that people can relate, hoping that people will tune in and see what's going on and, how everything's unfolding. And I will not expose anyone. I won't talk poorly of anyone. Everyone who I go out with, it's super private. It's never going to be, this is a picture of, this guy and look out for him. It's not going to be like that. And when I do get into some kind of a relationship, that will also be extremely private. But I want to just invite everyone to join me on this journey. I'm excited. So I'll be doing my YouTube videos. I'll be doing my Instagram. I'll be doing my podcast. And of course, I'll be writing about all of this. So stay tuned, because I should have some more videos coming for you from my trip in France and Italy with my friend who doesn't want to be photographed. Okay, so it should be super interesting since this is kind of my life. So we'll see how it goes.